Hello, namaste, and welcome to my channel and another new episode. We are talking about why your hard work is invisible and how to fix it. You may be working as a developer, tester, scrum master, agile coach, HR professional, or any leadership role. You're doing day in, day out, you're doing hard work, putting a lot of efforts, showing your value, but still it's invisible. People not recognizing you, leadership not recognizing your efforts. How to fix this? To speak on this topic, we have a leadership coach. We are bringing a new speaker, Amruta Suman. She is manager leadership learning services. Over 18 years of experience. She is a versatile yet focused professional with 18 years of experience, including 12 years in learning and development. Proven track record of developing journeys and processes for leadership development. So she have done many leadership programs throughout her career. So let's welcome Amruta.
Thank you so much, Nagesh, for the opportunity for being here. Uh, Wonderful. Let's have some conversation with your experiences and my experiences too.
Great. So Amruta, just for our speaker, you are from Pune, right?
Yes, I stay in
Okay.
Pune.
Yes. And how was your weekend look like?
Oh, the weekends are, whenever it's Friday, we always wish our colleagues happy Fridays, happy weekends. So the weekends are always happy. I love to do a lot of, roaming around outside Pune, in Pune itself. I like to meet people. I like to observe people. I like to learn something out of it. So my weekends are either outside my house, wherein I'm roaming around, or inside my house when I'm sitting and learning something.
Great. And what have you learned anything new, any different from IT things? Anything new recently?
So yes, I keep learning a lot of things, but I think right now the complete focus is on AI. That's the buzzword all around.
Correct.
I just completed my certification on Claude and experimented something new. I also very recently I was reading some of my new books, and with the help of those books, I learned some of the arts of origami.
Oh,
But of
nice.
course, I'm learning with my kids, and I'm at a beginner level, I must admit.
Nice, nice. So yeah, origami is a skill where you need a lot of patience and concentration.
Absolutely.
Great, great. And now we are coming back to our topic. The topic is very delicate. Lot of people, I know many people who are working in the industry from 10, 20 years, and they're doing a lot of hard work, working on weekends, working on holidays, but still they're not finding it valuable. So my first question, why do hard work often um, get unnoticed in large organizations? In many small organizations also, but large organizations we are talking here.
Yeah. So Nagesh, when I answer that question, I must share that with you. That was not only me, but I'm sure even you, many others
Right.
in our careers, those who are not growing, or even those who are growing rapidly, at one point of time at least, they must have encountered this question.
Correct.
Right? I have done that, um, and I want to start this with the expectation story, which I learned from my first manager in my first job. So I was always into training and development, and we were ramping up. So it was a BPO process, and I was into the training department. And those days, the computers and the systems were pretty new,
Hmm.
and we were focusing a lot on training the associates, doing the operations, because it was a new process ramping up. And we were working a lot, and day and night we worked, and then we had to do certain operations work on the system. And I remember that one of the Fridays I took the work home and I completed everything. And on Monday, I went to my manager and I very, very proudly told her that, you know what, I have no pending work and I've done everything over the weekend. And she was looking at me with a very straight face. And I was wondering, what? I don't have any pending work. Are you not happy? And she was like, but if you are not able to do your work in the 9 hours which is given to you, That's your fault. Why are you carrying work home?
Or yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You're setting a wrong expectations for people, because the next weekend when I ask you to take the work home, you will have to do it without uttering a word, because you have set that practice for all.
Right.
So people who are feeling that, I'm working so hard but it is still going unnoticed, we need to understand that, when you are entering into the corporate, hard work is like entry ticket. Okay, but then visibility is your amplifier.
Mm. Right.
So hard work of course needs to be done, but if you want to amplify that, you have to bring that visibility of work. That is something very important. And as you grow in the career, of course, when you are fresher, when you are just trying to make a space for yourself, there is only and only hard work.
Right.
But as you grow ahead, you will have to combine that hard work with visibility, and that is the point wherein it will start give you the desired growth. What you want in terms of promotions, even if you want to negotiate in terms of your salary, or even if you want to ask for the career growth in terms of the role um, change. All these things will come when your hard work is accompanied with visibility.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. So you have to be visible in terms of, you need not to show off, but you need to be visible
Correct.
in terms of, you need to have a data points. You need to
Absolutely
put it in a such a way that what was the problem statement that you had or your team had, what was
correct.
your action items, and what is the outcome of those action. You need to
Absolutely
present it very, very nicely to the people around you, and that's
correct.
the visibility. Not show off like I was working 11 hours and I was working on
Yeah,
weekends and I'm doing. No, don't do that. Don't
correct.
do that. Okay. Now, there's a very common complaint in our industry. A lot of people might have come to you. Many people came to me that a lot of, you know, not so capable, not so capable people getting promoted faster. Why does it happen?
Uh, and that's a very valid question, especially when I'm not being promoted. More than me thinking, why am I not promoted? It's very natural human tendency to think of, oh, why Nagesh got a promotion?
Right.
So it's very natural to feel that way. However, I need to understand that when I talk about the career growth, I need to expand my definition of capability.
Correct.
In the initial stage for me, my career, my capability at workplace would mean the technical domain or functional skills that I possess, right? But as you grow into your career, there are many more things that get added to that capability. It may be, how is it that I showcase my work? Am I able to articulate the impact of the work that I do?
Correct.
Not the articulation of the work, I mean the
Mm,
impact of the work.
mm.
Third thing is, am I able to connect with my stakeholders very well? Am I able to explain this impact to them properly? Am I able to create the right communication that can go to the right stakeholders? All these three, four factors will get added into that word capability. So when I think of, I was not promoted, but why Nagesh was promoted? It's not that Nagesh is not capable. Maybe when it comes to the technical domain functional skills, I may be slightly more superior also. Possibility. However, if Nagesh is able to talk about the impact of his work more, is able to create the right communication for each stakeholder, identify, connect with those stakeholders, and talk about their work, that will make Nagesh more visible and showcase about his capability. And I'm talking about the wider definition of the capability, right?
Right.
And I think even technically also, that is that's very very important. And I've seen that because I work in the IT company itself, and I've seen many technical people giving importance only to the technical skills that I have.
Correct.
If I just have one engineer who says that, I fixed so many x number of critical bugs or defects this week, in this 1 week. Okay, but there is another person who not only fixes those issues, defects, but talks also about the lessons learned,
Correct.
what are the improvements needed into the next scrum meeting. Of course,
Absolutely
the other one will get that added advantage. So
right.
when we say that, why somebody not so capable as me is getting promoted, instead of thinking in that negative direction, just think of expanding your horizon, think of expanding your definition of capability. That would make more sense and give a boost to your career.
Absolutely well said. Absolutely. So again, we are repeating same thing. You need to show the impact.
Correct.
Impact, on your current processes, on your current release cycle. One more thing going one step ahead. Try to show the dollar value. What dollar value that you are
Yes.
bringing to the team. That will
Correct.
give you the more chances of promotions than anything else. Now,
Correct.
moving on. So, like, uh, what makes leadership notice certain professionals? There is a leadership then and only notices few people, and why, and what happens.
Correct. Uh, and that's really very valid question. So when we talk about this, we just spoke about expanding my definition of capability. But ultimately, when I do that, what is it that the end user, that is my leadership, what exactly do they look for? Um, and I was going through one of the LinkedIn research, and they were talking about what leaders look for in the professionals. So there were some 29% of the leaders who mentioned that I look for the skill and capability.
Okay.
In rest, all the senior leaders, they mentioned about how am I approached, and what and how confidently it is communicated to me in the first meeting. Right. So leaders, they, in my opinion, I think they look for four things if I count on finger. They look for people who solve business problems.
Right. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So Nagesh, when I'm talking to you, if I'm coming to you and if I'm pitching something that I am doing this or I want to do this, instead of saying that what I am doing, my side of the story, I should be able to talk that what challenge am I solving for you? That's first point.
Mm.
Second, people I think who simplify things than complexity, uh, easy for everybody to process. Third thing, people who can influence across the teams. So instead of me just resolving bugs or introducing a new automation tool into the system, but if Nagesh is coming forward and is actually encouraging the team to increase the adoption of the tool, then Nagesh wins. It's very simple. So
Right.
people look for that influence. And third thing, I think fourth and the most important thing is people who talk about the outcome, not the efforts taken. I think the point which you spoke about, after AI, I think the second buzzword which I'm hearing everywhere is the business value articulation.
Correct.
Right. So convert your outcomes into the tangible outcomes. Don't talk more about the efforts, talk more about the value that you are creating. Okay, so if I just simply mention that the project is green because we have introduced the automation, it's good enough. Not that it's a bad, and it's green because of your efforts and the automation that you have introduced. However, if I go ahead and if I mention that we introduced so and so automation tool, which has reduced the manual efforts by X percentage, and we have got the business outcome or the revenue increase for the end user or for the customers by X amount, that will catch the leadership's attention on what you are saying, right? And that is what leaders look for.
Absolutely. Nicely summarized, Amruta. Very nice. So let's move on to the next question now. Now, how does visibility differ from the self promotion?
Oh yes. And I think here there is a very big conflict in everybody's mind. And so I lead a couple of leadership development program, and one of the program is women leaders program, which I lead. Okay.
Yes.
And when I talk to associates, mainly even middle managerial professionals also, I come across many professionals who say that my work will speak for me. Why should I speak for myself?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I was a victim of this verbatim for a very long time, I must confess. Right, wherein I also used to feel that, you know, I shouldn't be showing off in front of the people, so called showing off in front of the people. And slowly I realized that bringing visibility is not about bragging. Okay, it's more about showing your work or making your work discoverable.
Right.
If I simply want to connect my system to Bluetooth, I have to make my system discoverable first, right?
Correct.
Then only I'll be able to connect to the right Bluetooth. So this company and the growth path that I'm looking for is that Bluetooth. I need to first turn on my visibility button, then only I'll be able to work with that. Right. So self promotion, what is self promotion? It is all about you look at me. I am doing so much of work. Nagesh, we just spoke sometime a few minutes back, right? That
Right.
don't talk about efforts. So when I start talking about efforts, right, it becomes like that dard bhari dastan wherein I'm talking, oh, I've taken so many efforts and I was awake for the entire night. I've worked for 10 weekends and then the solution is life. Boss, great. We appreciate you. You will get a lot of blessings also for that, but not growth.
Not
There is
good.
a difference. Yeah. So self promotion is not about claiming credit. It is about providing the evidences why you deserve that credit. So
Right.
again, the same difference comes into the picture. It's whether I talk about the efforts or whether I talk about the business outcome that I'm driving for. And simply, I think it is the rule of marketing. I feel that you have to talk about what is in it for you, for your users.
Right.
When we talk about our career growth, it is simple. We are trying to sell our skills. We are trying to sell our offerings, services to the company, right? Even when I'm employed. So it's simple. I will have to show the organization, my bosses, my leaders, what is in my services for them. That is all about that is all about bringing the right visibility. So it's not self promotion. Go and please talk about your work as loudly as you can.
Well said. Do it, guys. Don't stop yourself. Okay. Now, let's talk about few mistakes. You already highlighted few, but I wanted to highlight few. So, what mistakes makes good work invisible?
Uh, Quite a few, I would say. The first one is, you know, sometimes when you are working very well, okay, the things are going well. You are very confident that the work which you are doing is going to give you very good results, good business outcome. People tend to work in silos. They
Right.
tend to work very secretively. Okay. But now we need to understand that don't be afraid of somebody else stealing your idea, because even if they steal your idea, nobody can present your idea as good as you can present.
Absolutely right.
So be confident about it. Okay. So never work in silos when the work is going on well. So that's the first mistake to avoid. The second mistake which people feel is, I think people talk a little more about the efforts or the activities that are done instead of outcomes. um, and Nagesh, I must tell you this, that when I evaluate a lot of presentations. So we do the we do the presentation coaching also for many people, and I see that if they make 5 slides, one is of course the introduction slide about the work, and there is only one slide which is the last slide which talks about the outcomes, and the 4 slides are about the activities what were done to get
Activities,
the
yes.
outcome. It has to be the other way. You have to talk first about the outcome. This is what I have achieved. Then you take maybe one slide to talk about how you did it. But the first focus has to be your outcome. Right?
Great.
The third mistake I feel is people keep waiting for the recognition.
Mm.
I have done this work. I have delivered this work. Now let's say Nagesh is my boss, and Nagesh didn't send a congratulations mail to the entire world about it. And then I keep waiting, though no, Nagesh will send it. Then sometimes I feel bad also, oh, Nagesh didn't send it. And then I'll hold on to those grudges till the appraisal time, possibly. Right. But then we need to break it up. Maybe Nagesh is busy. Let's give that benefit of doubt to everybody. If Nagesh is busy, and of course, if I'm so occupied, Nagesh must be 10 times more occupied than me as my boss. So, if Nagesh has not done it yet, why do I want to sit and wait for that recognition? Let me simply draft a communication. Let me send it to Nagesh and mark the whole world that Nagesh,
Correct.
thank you so much for your support. And let me start by appreciating Nagesh for his support, and then talk about the outcome that we have achieved out of it,
Right.
right? And I think the fourth mistake that comes to my mind is people avoid forums.
Hmm. Yes. Yes.
Maybe,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So I don't know how exactly this mindset needs to be changed, but I think with regular practice, we should be able to change it. If I work hard, I want my work to speak for me. I want my boss to speak for me. I want my leaders to speak about my work. Arey, come on, if you're so confident about your work, you talk about it. Why do you need others to talk about it? So it may be your town hall, it may be your community connect, it may be your informal connect with the entire team, it may be any leader walking onto your floor and having a cup of coffee with everybody, and it's an informal conversation. Or if you're going for a simple CSR activity with your leaders, don't miss any opportunity to talk about your work, because it's your responsibility. That's your baby, that's your work, and you have to talk about it.
Correct. Very nice. Yes. Yeah. One more thing in little harsh word, don't do charity. Don't do. You're not doing charity. Okay.
Correct.
So yeah,
Correct.
you're doing your work, show it, present it, and leverage the forums. As Amruta said, leverage the forums, be it town hall, quarterly meetings, anything. If you don't have any forum inside your organization, find external forums. There are meetups, there are conferences. Put across your papers, put across your thoughts. Let the world see what exactly you're doing. Maybe that outside influence will encourage your leadership to look at your work. Yes. Okay, now coming on to next question. How professional can showcase impact without politics? So we know, or we already discussed how to show your work, show your impact, but the word politics here is important.
So that's a bit tricky question, and I think this let's not talk about how beautiful the world is and how the grass is green everywhere, because the world is not Garden of Edens, for sure. So politics exist. It may exist a little more at some places, may less at some places. It's not about how right or wrong it is. It's all about how do I tackle it. So, how I look at politics, Nagesh, is politics is when somebody tries to manipulate somebody's perception about your work.
Correct.
What I need to focus on, if I don't want to get into politics, let me simply focus on my visibility, right? I need to communicate my contribution. When somebody will be, let's say, Nagesh, if you are my boss, I report into you. Okay. And if I'm doing a lot of work, I'm getting a good outcome to the work which I'm doing. And if somebody comes and tries to manipulate your perception about the work which I am doing, that is politics. But why do I need to give a chance to them?
Hmm.
Because for me, if I focus on the visibility which we just spoke in the previous discussion a minute ago, if I'm focusing on my visibility, it is about communicating my contribution, my business outcomes very clearly to everybody. If I am doing that in the right time, very quickly, to the right stakeholders, others won't get a chance to do the politics with the work,
Correct.
right? So it's completely up to you. What focus do you want to have? And if your focus is right about communicating about your work in time, in the right way, to the right stakeholders, we can definitely reduce that negative impact of the politics on the work that we are doing.
Very nice. Now, coming on to our last question. What practical habits increase career visibility? We already discussed few, but let's hear it.
Yeah. Okay. So I think one habit which I do, let me share let me not come up with some, vague answers. Let me
Buzzwords,
talk about the, yeah, yeah, let's not have buzzwords.
yeah.
Let me share with you some things which I do. It may sound pretty traditional, but that has worked for me, so I can talk very confidently about it that it works. Maintain the impact journal for yourself.
Right.
Okay. Uh, I find writing down things
Uh,
helps you a lot.
right.
And let me admit this also, that when I was not doing it, and if I'm having some conversation with my boss, let's say in the month of March, I'll be able to talk about the work which I have done since January till March. I won't be able to talk about the work which I've done in last 7 8 months
Right.
or 10 months. Human mind, very difficult. But when you make your impact journal, many people, nowadays it's gratitude is again buzzword, so many people maintain gratitude journal. And if you know gratitude journal, it has a specific format, right? So the same way, for your professional journal, create a professional format for that also. Why not?
Mm. Right.
So create, and you don't have to keep writing it every day, but at least write once in a week, because I
Right.
write it every Friday before I log off. Um, so I talk about the business value outcomes that I've worked in that week. So in short, very much in short, what were the efforts taken? Because the focus has to be more on outcomes, and I try to convert my outcomes into the tangible outcomes. Okay. Now, Nagesh, as you mentioned that our channel has a wider audience. It's not
Right.
only particularly technical people. It may be HR professionals. It may
Right.
be support functions as well. Don't have this thought into your mind that how do I write the tangible business outcome. Simply, whatever you feel is the impact of your work, ask a question to that statement. What happens because of this?
Right.
You will get some answer. Again, ask the same question. Ask it 5 to 6 times, you will reach to a tangible outcome, right?
Very nice.
So
Yeah.
it may be, yeah, so it may be revenue you have secured, or cost that you have saved, or the manual efforts reduced because of automation, which is applicable for everybody, or the customer appreciations or the customer feedback in terms of numerics. uh, we can have all those things documented every week. So that's first habit. Second thing, make sure that whenever you get an opportunity, this has become a bit difficult when it comes to after COVID kind of work, or COVID and COVID after kind of work, that many of us were working remotely.
Correct.
um, yeah. So whenever you get a chance, even if you are into a remote job, whenever you are getting a chance, go to the office, meet the people that you work with, see the faces. Very, very important, because the bond that you create over informal conversations when you fight with each other against whether you support for RCB, Chennai Super Kings, or whatever, that fights will create such a strong bond that will bring you a lot of opportunities, visibility when it comes to your work. Otherwise, I may send emails, but not necessary people will read it unless and until they know me, right?
Right.
So it's important that people know you.
Very
And
nice.
yeah, and very important, make a rule for yourself that it may be any meeting that you are attending, you make your point at least once. Okay, at least once. Not a single meeting has to go unnoticed, wherein you are unnoticed, right?
Mm.
So at least one point. Maybe it is not about you asking a lot of questions, maybe you're just the listener, but at least summarize what you heard, summarize what your understanding is, summarize what about what your observations are basis your understanding. But the next habit which I would recommend, which I do, is make sure that you are at least talking once in a meeting.
Right.
um, then another thing which I learned eventually in my career is, whenever you see any opportunity, your hand has to be this straight, raised,
Right.
without waiting for a second. Always remember, yes or no needs to be decided now, how part can be figured out later. Always. So don't get into how part, just raise your hand, and raise it straight shows your confidence. And I think you need to create some social media presence also nowadays. That also makes a
Absolutely.
lot of
That is very
sense.
important. Yes.
Yeah, so when I was not there on any social media a year ago, and when I am in social media in last 1 year, I can see a lot of difference. When I talk to the leaders, or when I meet them and I talk to them about what they have posted, what I feel about it. So all these things put together, and these are the practical tips which I have followed, and I think will make a difference for our audience as well.
Absolutely. Great. Great tips. great discussion. Absolutely loved it. And Amrita, really thankful for being here, and then really thank you from the entire audience for being such a wonderful speaker today.
Thank you so much, Nagesh. And I think Agile Exploration Hub is doing extremely well. I can see the diverse audience that you are pulling in, the diverse speakers that you are bringing in. And this is, I'm sure, contributing a lot to everybody's careers. So thank you so much for having me. And I truly enjoyed this conversation today. Thank you.
Yeah. So, to my audience, if you really enjoyed this discussion, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.